Hi everyone, it's Tiffany Sharp. It's raining here this morning in September, so you might hear that, but I was really excited to show you this amazing, well, first of all, I ordered a kit from Collage Soup. So it is the Halloween kit, or I think that's what it's called, but maybe it's called something else. And then I ordered a bunch of extras because I've been eyeing some of these. Like this one is Alice in Wonderland themed. I think they're called paper bites. I know Emily has named them a couple of different things, and they used to be something like paper bites or something like that, and then they became cutouts. I'm not sure what the difference is, but they're not stickers. They're like pre-fussy cut images, which is awesome. And then I got the Halloween one, which I'm curious to see if the Halloween one is the same one that comes in the kit. But either way, I have extra, which I need because I love making a Halloween journal every year. There's not many times of the year that I journal, that I make like a page in my art journal every day. But for Halloween, I do for some odd reason. I mean, I love Halloween, not like crazy love, but I love making Halloween pages. I think they're just really fun and easy to do. So I think that's why I do it. And then I ordered a bunch of these stickers, which are fun. And I've already used one. I've been eyeing these for quite a long time. And you know, when I order stuff, I'm like, let's just throw it all in there. And then there's these Halloween themed translucent papers that I thought would be fun to play with. So those are the extra things. Now, oh, those are cool. Okay, I don't like the really scary images. I might have to give those away. I don't like this. If it's at all scary, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's an odd thing. If you like Halloween, but you don't like scary, creepy images. I hope you can see these because it's a little bit dark. Oh, look at that. So when the light shows through, did it do that for you guys? Where like, it just glowed all of a sudden when I lifted it up. That was cool. All right, so I'm gonna have fun playing with those. And then here is the kit. I love how in the kit, there's always like projects. So you don't get a kit of just random things and you're like, what do I do with this? No, there's, you know, so project one is tags, which I thought was fun. I'm excited to see what the tags look like. And then there's project 2, which is a keychain. Project 3, a wooden bookmark journal charm. And so it's all laid out, which is nice. And then project 4, Keeper of Frights box. And some extra pumpkins to cut out. So, oh, this is a notebook, like a traveler's notebook, which will be fun to add. I have a bunch of covers. And, oh, this is cute. A little bag. Yeah, a corduroy bag. Oh, this is fun. Nice for fall. It's got zippers, lots of zippers. This looks like a nice waterproof lining on the inside. Some lotion. All right. Oh, I also love these crinkly papers. I save them for when I send out packages. Okay. Oh, fun washi. I always love the washi. Look at these black cats. And then we got some black paint. Okay. Oh, I want to look at this. This was one of the projects. So, looks like collaging this is one of the projects. And then let me see. Oh, here's the tag book, which looked like a lot of fun. This is cute. Here's the cutouts. Let me see if they're the same. They might be different. It's looking like they're different already. I feel like they're different than the ones that I ordered. Yep. So now I've got a whole bunch of awesome Halloween cutout things. Okay. This guy. And these cool chipboard pieces. Some. Ooh, that's cool. Curious Collage Society. I love that bird with the striped legs. I had to get a whole thing, like a whole page of striped stickers. Oh, it's a skull sucker and a, what is that, a bat? I don't know. It's black candy. Cute little ducks with hats, with witches' hats. All right, all kinds of beads and doodads for the bookmark probably. And then there's always fun things in this little bag. Okay, oh my gosh, that's cool. Some sort of a bead with a rose. Chipboard pieces, a skull. Oh, glitter. Oh, that's a cute pin. Little ghost hugging his kitty cat. And a bat. All right, that's fun. Oh, I actually love open circles like this. You can just put it around anything and make it an instant focal point. I love that. If something is hiding on the background of your page and you're like, I wanna highlight that, you just stick this circle on. Here, I'll show you. So let's say it's an image like this and you're like, I really like that flower. Just stick this circle on and paint the circle and it'll instantly be a focal point. Okay. Oh, here's a keychain that can be decorated and collaged. Oh my gosh, there's more. There's more stickers, more paper, and oh, these are just extras from other. Oh, look at these trick-or-treat bags. Oh, that's cute. Okay, there's always this piece of kind of slippery paper, and I want to say it's for gluing. It reminds me of like wax paper, or could it be parchment paper? Or I don't know if you guys get this box. Do you use it in your collage, or do you use it as like waste paper to glue stuff on? I'm not sure what the intent is. I guess it could be either one. Oh, don't put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. Oh, I love that. Tiny little mini composition notebook and a bunch of collage, like little bits of collage papers. Ooh, watercolor postcard. That'll be handy. And then I always wait till the end to flip through the book, which I love This size, the snack size, is so great. It's just like, it fits perfectly in my hands. The images are easy to cut out. Oh, this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun to cut and use in my Halloween journal this year. So I'm really excited. Oh, I do have a Halloween journal ready. I made it last year, but I don't think I used it last year. I know I sold some of these. I think I have one left actually, or maybe someone already took that one. I can't remember, but if there's one left, it's in my shop. And these are hand quilted. I came up with this pumpkin design that I pieced. Like, if you know quilting, then you know what that means. I pieced it on my sewing machine, and then I quilted it with like the actual traditional quilting method. I've got upholstery fabric here, so it's nice and sturdy. It's a good sturdy cover, so I'm excited to use this. And then I just have a bunch of papers that are somewhat Halloween themed, but a lot of just kind of plain papers too. I've got some that have just some like paint brayered on. I've got some Tim Holtz. I love the Tim Holtz backdrop pages too. So I feel like when I did this, there's definitely enough. So this is from, it's blueprints to my house, to the house that I'm currently living in. So I think everyone will get like a piece of a blueprint to my house. Because they came in enormous sheets, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep that paper, you guys. Anyway, some of them have pockets. So I think there's enough to do 31, like if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So there's exactly 31. If you ever wanted a book like that to follow along, then I've got one. I kept one for myself, and then I made some. So I don't know, those of you who bought this last year, I feel like I made this later on, like in November, because I'm always late for holidays. This is me being super, super ready and prepared for Halloween, because normally I'd be like, oh, it's October 20th. I should do some Halloween journaling, you know. But, well, not Halloween, other holidays. Usually with Halloween, like I said, I'm pretty on top of it. So, all right, well, if you heard that bell in the background, that's Ziggy. Ziggy, my dog, she is wanting to be let out. It's pouring rain, and I don't know what she thinks she's gonna do, but apparently we're going out. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks, Emily and Collage Soup, for your amazing creations. I just love this kit. I'm so excited to use it. Okay, so I was putting everything away, and I realized there were a couple things I forgot to even mention. So there's a couple of brushes for helping with, you know, I'm sure it says in the directions. And then there is this twin marker, which, let's see, that's a pretty blue color. Oh, okay. So a broad, I can't do it. I'm doing it on this box. So a broad tip and a fine tip on this marker. So there's those things. And then I tried to put everything back, and I had a really hard time getting it all back in there. That's when you know, like, the kit is full. It's so jam-packed. You know, when you take something apart and you're like, I can't get it all back in. That's when you know that it's just been filled up. All I can think of is maximum capacity, right? So I put all the stickers and I missed one sticker. Stuff is just falling out everywhere because I keep missing things. Okay, I think I got them all though. So I got the stickers and the little cutouts in the box for now. And then I ordered a while ago. I have a whole like October or Halloween box of things, but I ordered this a long time ago. It's the Halloween 2024 pack by Tim Holtz, the ephemera pack. So I'm gonna keep this all together in this kit with my journal. And then I found these from Unwell Studio, which are moons. I feel like they can go with Halloween things and they'd be fun. So I'm just gonna put it in here to remind myself that I have these. And since it was actually good that Ziggy distracted me and I had to go let her out and play with her and all that stuff. And then it's been like a day, and within that amount of time, Kia from Kia Creates asked me if I would like to join the Halloween challenge with her again this year. And I was like, yes, 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 exclamation point. So yeah, this is what all of this is for. It's for the Halloween journal challenge with Kia Creates. In the past 2 years in a row, I've these I'm gonna put aside because they're not just Halloween, and you know, obviously I've started using them. So I wanna. Oh, these are fun too. These autumn type of things. Maybe I'll stick these in here. Okay, so that's kind of cleaned up there, and then I've got something else to show you while I'm chatting. So the Halloween challenge. I should get my book from last year. So I believe this is my last year's journal. We get prompts to do, and I have been able to do a page every single day, which is crazy, right? I mean, I don't like do it daily. Sometimes I do like three days in a row, and then I skip a few days. You know, that's the way I've got to do it because I've just got too many things going on. But there are periods of time. Oh, this bird feet. That was my prompt, was feathered friends, I think. And the bird feet sticking out were so cute. I knew they were gonna get crushed because, you know, I put these on a shelf, but I loved the idea of it peeking out, and like this birdie peeking out with the, anyway. Yeah, so I'm getting prepared. I'm preparing myself an entire month early by gathering my supplies for the Halloween journal challenge. Is that crazy or what? Oh, and the reason why I had such an easy time is because a lot of these images are from Collage Soup, and then like I've got stamps and things from Art Foamies. I've got a lot of I want to say, okay, so I've got a lot of my own watercolor artwork. I want to say I've got a lot of Megan Quinlan stencils too, but I'm sure I used them somewhere. Anyway, that helps. Just gathering my supplies all in one place. I had bought these. But look at this page. Look at how cool this is. A lot of these images are from Collage Soup, Bougie Boo. I absolutely love that particular collage book. I might have to get another copy. It's so good. I love it. I painted these lanterns. That was kind of a challenge that I was like, I'm gonna try it. There's a lot of things here that I had never painted before, and I know they're like super simple, but for some reason I was really intimidated by trying to paint those. And so anyway, I'm really excited to do that. This is my kid drew this. 14-year-old, 13-year-old. can't remember how old he was at the time, but oh, here's one of Megan's stamps. So Megan, Quinlan, and Art Foamies collaborated on this foamy stamp, which I love. But so yeah, this is my fun book. I got to use some of my old quilted things and whatnot, so I'm really looking forward to that. I guess I didn't finish, like, totally finish some of these, but you know, like, that's pretty good for me. Oh, I haven't looked through this in a long time. So anyway, let me show you what I'm doing right now. I felt like it was a good time for me to show you something that I've been interested in doing for September. And that is this tiny little book. I watercolor painted on the covers, which, like, the rings and painting the cover is a class that I have. It's called Petals and Pockets. So it's the exact same way that I paint some of those, except I just used like autumn colors, which is the Warm and Cozy set. I'll put links to as much of this stuff as I can remember. So the Warm and Cozy watercolor set is one of my favorites, and I love the Renaissance watercolor paints. Like, that's pretty much like all I work with. For the most part, I have been working with some Art to Basic gouache paints too, which is fun. But these are all the colors from the Warm and Cozy, and I have just decided to make another book, but a tiny version, kind of like my Petals and Pockets books. And then, like, here's a Megan Quinlan stencil, and do just a fall themed, really small thing that mainly I can just do like something small every day that gets me in the mood for fall and that gets me creating. Although I really haven't lacked for ideas on creating things, because I've been making journals and books like crazy lately. So I'll show you those. But yeah, if you're on Instagram, I'm just showing like how I do. I'm just gonna work on each page and then I clip it in, because these rings, they open up. They're so nice because the sets of rings are together, so they open up, and then I can just put a page in at a time, and I can like work on them one page at a time. I can open it up. I can put in a new page each day. I can sew on these and whatever I want, like outside of the book, which is kind of fun. It's a fun way to work. And then when I'm done, it'll be kind of chunky and full of however many pages. And the cool thing is there's different size rings. So it can grow. It can definitely get bigger. So anyway, if you want to learn all about that, that's the Petals and Pockets course. I highly, highly recommend that one. That's just a really nice, fun course that I have on my Teachable. And it seems to be one of the favorites. And okay, so the other thing, last thing I want to show you, because I've been obsessed with bookmaking lately. And so I create courses, but I also love taking classes and learning from other teachers as well. So this is from Liz Constable and Allie Manning. They did this course together. Okay, not this book, but the bindings on these are taught by Allie Manning. Okay, and then, okay, also not this book. And then the actual like creating of the cover. So this is canvas. The creating of the cover was done by Liz Constable, where we like played on canvas. It was a fun technique that she showed us. I, of course, went nuts with the stitching. I had a little bit of cracking on my covers. So what I ended up doing was stitching them together and then also adding these snippet rolls to mine that covered up some of the cracking, but also like added a really fun decorative element. So some of these like they're larger than others because they're covering up some of the cracking. So I need to experiment with this method a little bit more and see what I can do to prevent that. But these are like grungy and they're made of recycled canvas. So I mean, like, the cracking, I think, kind of adds to the aesthetics a little bit. It doesn't really bother me too much. And then I got to add like fun buckles and closures and that kind of stuff. I might add some buttons to some of these. But the cool thing about these is that I used pages from another lesson that I did with Liz Constable called Died and Gone to Heaven. And I took that class with her live and we got to do these fun pages. Of course, I added my other things, like these are from Collage Soup and these are some stitched pages that I made. But a lot of interspersed in here are these amazingly dyed papers from that Died and Gone to Heaven class. Oh, so good, huh? And then I feel like some of them have pages from my eco-printed class. I have another course with eco-printing. Yeah, so like this is from, these are eco-printed papers. And okay, so this is a totally different structure. Okay, this is actually, this one shouldn't have even been in this set, but I did make it recently. So look at that, isn't that fun? And then I've got like these stitched pages that I'm working on for a future class. And then this is like just crazy sprayed on inks and stamped and leaf prints and things too. If you notice, they are still like nature prints. So anyway, this is like, I can see this being a future class. Now when I say future class, I don't know. It could be next month. It could be next year. I just do this. So whenever it gets done is when it gets done. I have no timeline for things, and I do things when I'm inspired by them and when I remember. Oh, here's some of my washi. This page got this huge tear in it, and I was like, I'm just going to tape it. I'm just going to tape it. I'm not going to worry about it. I want to use it because it's still amazing. So, yeah. So this is eco printed. This is a process that I teach in my eco printing class. It's called Prairie Study. But I use dyes. I don't just use colors from plants. I also add my own dyes in there, which is what gives it these speckles. But these are the plant matter that are adding color. So that's also a fun class. And I have so many papers. Look at that. Those are actual petals that never came off of my eco printed page. And I just love that it's like embedded in there now. And here's an eco printed page too. So I just have so many papers like that, and I'm going to be binding them up into books like this. This is a collaged cover. And I will be, I don't know. I guess I will put them up for sale because I have so many. But right now I'm going to hang on to them because I'm working on this idea of creating these hybrid stitched pages. Do all of my classes contain sewing with a sewing machine? Yeah, most of them do. Not my like short watercolor classes, but both of my Petals and Pockets and eco printing class, I do use a sewing machine. Way less in the eco printing class. Like, you definitely don't need a sewing machine in the eco printing class. But the Petals and Pockets class, you don't need to use it at all either, except for like tiny details. This class, if I make this class, I don't know. I've gotta get the sewing machine now. Look at that. That's what's holding my cover together. Unless I can figure out a way, which I am experimenting with, to hold the cover together without using a sewing machine. It might need an iron, you know, and like sticky iron-on things, or some very, very sturdy glue, which I am testing out. I'm testing out like heavy matte. I've got it right here. Heavy gel matte is what I have, which seems to be working pretty good for things. So I understand, like, some people don't like to use sewing machine, or don't have one, or don't know how to sew, and so I'm definitely testing that out. So that's why it takes me so long to create a course, because I'm like, I want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. You know, I try to make it so that, oh, look at the binding on that. This is called the butterfly binding. So good. Yeah, I like trying to make it so that anyone can do it. I don't want people to be limited by their tools or their previous knowledge. A lot of my classes are for beginners, and I love breaking things down and teaching from the very, very beginning, like the basics. I feel like that's kind of a natural thing that I like to do. So I've always been that way, even when I used to teach chemistry or teach science. Some kids complain that I went really, like, way too slow, but I was just like, I want to focus on getting everyone to the right place and do like a nice slow introduction of the basics before we move on to things that are more complicated. So this one, I got all this fabric here from Michelle Cox Creative. I was gifted all of this gorgeous hand-dyed lace and fabrics, and so that's what I made. That's what I did with this book. And this is a binding that I made up, actually, because so you see the circles in the lace? It ended up perfectly centered here on the spine. I didn't do that on purpose. It just ended up that way. And so I was like, let me play with trying to keep my binding, the stitching of the binding, within this pattern. Of course, it doesn't continue here, but I did it anyway. So this is a special book. It's not ever going to be for sale. Just so you know. This contains papers that Liz Constable sent me that she had hand dyed herself. So these are this signature has her papers. And then the next signature has my papers from the Dyed and Gone to Heaven class. I took that class twice. And then this one is also Dyed and Gone to Heaven that I took with her live via Zoom. And I think it's got a few, yeah, I've got a few of my own papers like interspersed there too. But these are all like, I made all of these ones, the last two signatures. Look at this. Oh. So this, I was experimenting with other things, and yeah, it is just so much fun. to create all these papers. And oh, I've got my washi in here too, just to add accents, and then bind them into a book. I just love making books, and I have been just going to town with creating these books. As you can see, I still have to figure out a closure for this, but yeah. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching all of this. This is probably going to end up being a really long video. Oh, and I did find the pumpkin journal that is for sale. And guess what I discovered? So I did have to open this up. I'll have to put a new sticker on here. I'll have to put one of my my new stickers with my new designs. So I realized that when I made this last year, I put a little kit in there that's got autumn themed papers and fabric, and like that looks like some sort of a watercolor thing that I had painted, and you know, some hearts and things that I had painted in there. So it's got like little bits and pieces, little fodder doodads, fabric, papers, things that you can use in your journal too. So I can't remember what the price of this one is. I felt like it was quite cheap, honestly, for it being like a hand quilted journal. But this is the, oh yeah, I should take the ribbon off in case you want to see the cover. Let's look at it. I seldom get to go back and look at some of these books that I've made. This upholstery, vintage upholstery fabric is just like, it's got this kind of is it felt? Velvety texture? Yeah, like velvety texture that I love. And then it's got all the, oh, this is a jelly print of a, what's it called? Fern. Wow. Maybe I'll keep this one. Got a nice pocket. Oh, this is an onion skin paper that I jelly printed. All right, well, I don't know. Maybe it's on my website. Maybe it's not. Maybe I kept this one for a reason. Here's one of the Died and Gone to Heaven papers that I made. Interesting. So fun to go back and look at some of these. I love this paper. It must be a Tim Holtz paper. There's just all kinds of textured pages and papers in here. Like every single one is different. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I want to keep this one. I should take a look at my other one, the one that I put in my kit, and then try and decide which one I want to hang on to, because now that I'm looking at this, I love it. All right, well, happy fall and happy creating. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time today. Bye.